Hello and welcome to another modern stream. We have some new cards that are legal from Kaldheim in Magic Online right now. They are very tough to get because only I think today is the first day that drafts are actually open. So what's the secret to get the new cards? Make sure that the new card that you want to try out is an uncommon. Yeah, because rares and rares and mythics are pretty tough to get. The good thing is that I was already thinking about brewing around this one because, well, it says the word giants in it, so obviously it was pretty obviously the first way that I was gonna go about it. Pretty unfortunate that Spike kind of beat me to it because he was streaming a very similar deck today, which is rather unfortunate. But anyway, like this is a card that I was going to brew around regardless. So we get a slightly different, slightly different take than what Spike was doing. We're going a little bit deeper on the giant synergies because we're adding Bone Crusher Giant. Like this is obviously the most logical thing to be doing. Bone Crusher Giant is already kind of reasonable in Modern right now. And when you play it for, like playing a 1-mana 4/3 for a control deck, it's pretty legit. Particularly when it killed a creature, hopefully, in the process as well. So, interesting to see whether this works or not. Of course, Invasion of the Giant makes Uro cost 2 on the front half. It doesn't do anything for the back half, but that's kind of whatever. It's already ridiculously cheap on the back half as is, or anyway. And it makes Primetime cost 4. Right now, the T-Bolt Trickery deck is all the hype. So, basically, I don't want to be playing Amulet right now because basically we can't ever beat that deck because we have no realistic way of interacting with it. But that deck kind of scoops to a Remand or a Force of Negation or a Cryptic Command. So basically, until the hype dies down for the T-Bolt Trickery deck and people just get tired of losing to these cards, I feel like I want to be the one playing this card so I don't lose to the stupid combo deck. So let's talk about the entire deck then. So 28 lands, Field of the Dead, 1 of Field of Ruin. This is a big question mark. I'm not sure whether we actually can afford to play this card, but we're gonna see how that goes. 2 Mystic Sanctuaries, another one. Maybe we should just be playing the 1 copy. We definitely want the 1 copy because of Cryptic Command, but I'm going with 2, and then we can like make changes from there if I feel like we can't really afford to do this. We have 9 fetches, one of which is Wooded Foothills. And then 6 basics, and everything else is that's a lie, 7 basics, sorry. And then everything else is just a duel or a triumph. So I guess there's a Cascade Bluffs hanging in there. It's basically like either the Cascade Bluff or the Flooded Grove, and that is the other card that I was looking for this Field of Ruin, a Flooded Grove. If we're going in on the Mystic Sanctuary thing, obviously you don't want to go too deep on the filter lands aspect of things. But this card, like this deck has very steep mana requirements, right? Like in Spike's stream, everybody was saying, why aren't you playing like Cavern of Souls and stuff like that? And it's just like, Cavern doesn't cast your Cryptic Command, it doesn't cast your Jace, nor your Invasion of the Giants, or your Ren and Sixes, or your Growth Spiral. Like, there's a very real cost in having Cavern of Souls in your deck. We experienced that playing with Green-White Reclaimer, we experienced that playing with the Blue-Green Titan deck as well. So I don't think that you can realistically play a Cavern of Souls unless you play it as land number like 30. Even if we play 29 lands, I would probably play a Flooded Grove in this list before I play the Cavern of Souls. And I think that Field of Ruin is probably a better land to be playing as a one-off, as your colorless source, quote-unquote. So we're gonna go with that. Then we have Ren, we have Growth Spiral to help with the ramping aspect of the deck. Of course, we want to get to Prime Time anyway. We have a couple of Forces of Negation. It's possible that this should just be Mana Leak because we have 20 blue cards total, so we're definitely running super low in Force of Negation targets. It would be great if instead of these Bone Crusher Giants, we had access to some like blue giant of sorts. That would definitely be awesome, but unfortunately none of the blue giants are particularly playable. So that sucks. When we go to the sideboard, this is just like generic blue deck sideboard kind of thing going on. So Ceremonious Rejection, couple of Veil of Summers, Soul Guide Lantern against the combo decks and the graveyard decks like Dredge and stuff. Either Gust, couple of disputes, one of Ashiok, couple of sweepers in far spout, and engineered explosives, mostly because out of respect for the hammer time deck, which is also all the rage right now. Because I actually think that the hammer time deck is kind of good after playing it a couple of days ago on Friday. But I guess a couple of days ago, but it was almost a week. Wow, time really goes by quickly, goddamn. Okay, Big Dan, what do you got for us? Lurrus of the Dream Den. This is like the perfect hand, right? This hand is actually legit, so let's keep this one. By the way, I didn't even talk about what the card does. So 2 mana, it's a Saga. So whenever you play the Scry 2, then on the second one you draw a card and then you may reveal a giant from your hand and you ping your opponent for 2. Or Planeswalker, very important part of aspect of the card. You can ping a Planeswalker, which is potentially pretty huge against stuff like the Fairy, for example. And then finally, the next giant spell you cast this turn costs 2 less to cast. So that's what the Saga does. I mean, I'm keeping this, but I'm trying to think what I'm gonna bottom. I guess I bottom the Cryptic Command and be sad, right? We could also bottom the Growth Spiral, and we can go turn 2 Invasion, turn 2 Uro, turn 3 Uro. No, I don't think I want to bottom the Invasion, because the Invasion, if I play it on turn 2, it allows me to hit my land drops so I can get to Uro on Cryptic. So I think I'm actually going to bottom the Growth Spiral. First hand was Titan at 6 lands to cast, but more could you own? Yeah, exactly. That's my kind of hand right there. Snapkeep. Stomping Ground. Swift Spear. Okay. Am I getting Stomping Ground with this? We already have double blue for Udo. So we would only be missing double green. I mean, we drew the other fetch now, right? So yeah, we're gonna get Steamits now. But before we knew that we were hitting our green source requirements, I think it was like it was definitely I think you get Steam in regardless. I don't think so. Like, I think you're prioritizing Mystic Sanctuary a little bit too much. I think that the backside of Uro, like against Swift Spear deck, the backside of Uro is going to be more relevant than having access to Cryptic Command or Mystic Sanctuary. We got a Reader. Am I bottoming these? I think I'm bottoming both of these. My opponent's probably playing Thoughtseizes and shit, so we need to. Was thinking of the Cryptic we have in hand. Yeah, I think that this is what the game's gonna be about. But yeah, it's possible that you just get Cryptic anyway. That you just think of Cryptic anyway, I mean. Would love for my opponent to not have a Scourge right here. They seem to be on Jund Shadow. Goyf I can do. Yeah, Goyf is a little bit more doable. Sucks that Invasion of the Giants grows the Goyf. Do we want to ping my opponent? I think I don't want to ping my opponent. Are me and Spike just playing the same decks right now? Well, I mean, I already explained this at the beginning, but yeah, I was thinking of playing this deck already, and then Spike kind of beat me to it, which is unfortunate. But getting the new cards right now, it's basically impossible. But Invasion of the Giant is an uncommon, so it's actually easy to get. Well, first match, and we're gonna get to Leave the Dream. This is awesome. So we can cast a 4-mana Primetime right here. I feel like we want to do that. Get in Field of the Dead, and if we get a fetch land that feeds the Euro, so that's kind of cool. Oboro is interesting. Field of Ruin is interesting. I think we just get a fetch land. Four mana Primetime, your go. The 2 damage can't hit the board. No, it can hit player, opponent, or planeswalker. That's the only things that it can hit. How do you like my 4-mana Primetime, opponent? How do you like my 4-mana Primetime? I'm gonna set the stop on upkeep in case my opponent thought seizes my Cryptic. Dismember a Sombo. Okay. Bolt Sombo. Is that lethal? We die to any spell? Well, that's unfortunate. Oh, we were dead already. Never mind. I guess maybe I should have just held on to Cryptic Command. My opponent still had all these me. Opponent just still had all these in me. Brutal. I don't like Veil of Summer in this kind of matchup. Let's go with Soulgrad Lantern instead, I guess. Keep. I think I just go get Temur Triumph on 1. Yeah, let's do that. I guess if my opponent plays a Swift Spear, I kill it. If they do nothing, I do nothing. Yep. Let's do this. It's pretty good. That is pretty good. So I guess it doesn't matter because we're gonna be drawing both. So let's just do that. Goiful. We get to bolt that. Again, I don't think I want my opponent to take damage, so do we just get to bolt that? Like, is that true? Is that what's gonna happen here? What could they have? They can't have Street Wraith. Mutagenic Growth blows me out. Seems like a fine risk to take. So we're gonna get an island here. We want to make sure that we stack the triggers here so that we can play the Stomping Ground and Shock and Bolt before the Uro goes to the graveyard. And now the Uro can go to the yard. Surgical my Uro? Sure. Oddly enough, Surgical on Scalding Tarn would have been so much better than Surgical on the Uro right here. Because it would have blanked both my Rain and my Uro. But that's fine. Going for number 2. Okay. We got Gust. I guess they know about this. I'm gonna play it first. Make sure we can't get it Surgical in response or something silly like that. Nice black sources. So I guess this runs into Veil, but you know, Celavi. If they have Veil, they have Veil. Okay. Put Goyf on top. Scourge, that's a 1-1. Okay. That's what I was gonna say. Like, are you sure, opponent? I mean, I guess we can't kill that. Not bad. Not bad. Let's start there, I guess. Interesting. 1, 2, 3. So my opponent needs a Thoughtseize or I guess a TBR. We are dead to TBR. Okay, so I guess we're dead. Or not. Sweet. Okay, awesome. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's zombie o'clock. It is zombie o'clock. Yep. Sweet. I kind of don't like Veil of Summer. Kind of don't like Bolt either, even though it was kind of good there. Man, I kind of don't like Soul God Lantern either. Our sideboard is not particularly well prepared for the John Shadow matchup. I like second Veil more than third Gust. I disagree. I very much disagree. Gust allows me to impact the board state. My opponent has Goyfs and Swift Spears, which are their main ways of aggroing me out. And Veil is basically a dead card under most circumstances. Like, look at this hand, for example. Even if my opponent has a discard spell, Veil is just dead in my hand. It does literally nothing. Am I keeping this though? Opponent moves to 6. I guess I am. Like, it's a slow hand, but like my mana is fine. And as long as I find lands, I basically have all the stuff that I need, and I have both Invasion of the Giants and Aether Gust as early interaction. Bonecrusher Giant and Aether Gust as early interaction, I meant. But yeah, I think that Veil is very overrated in the Shadow matchup by insane amounts. I think that Veil is just actively not good in the Shadow matchup. I am only playing it because I'd rather have Veil than any of these other 15 cards. But I think that Veil is actively bad in the Shadow matchup. I mean, not actively bad, but like extremely inconsistent. You have some hands where your Veil is going to be a 9, and then you're going to have some hands and some games where your Veil is going to be like a -10. There's like, it's just so up and down. They take Uru. I wonder if they have the Surgical again. They do. Why are you doing this now? Like, this didn't work out for you in the previous game, opponent. Have you learned nothing? And what? Also, you're just do it like 3 turns from now, when I can actually like cast an Uro if I were to draw it. Don't do it now. Unless you have like a Shadow. If you're playing a Shadow right now, that's above a 2/2, because it has to be above a 2/2. Otherwise, it just dies to my Bonecrusher that you know about. Yep. Vision of the Giants time. We already have double green. We have the red sources that we need, so we're just gonna get an island. And play Invasion of the Giants, smooth out our draws. I don't mind if I do, I guess. I would love to have Growth Spiral. I would love to see a Growth Spiral. Thoughtseize. You got it. Is Renan 6 good in this matchup? Yes, it is. I think it's pretty good. This is, after all, a grindy matchup, right? This is, after all, a grindy matchup. Well, I definitely don't want to do that, but... So you want to make sure that you're hitting your land drops. You want to make sure that you are... that you are paying attention to card advantage and stuff like that. Another Thoughtseize would kind of suck, though. This seems like a bit of a different deck direction than from your usual. Not really. I mean... And yeah, we're playing some new cards. It's a big shadow. So our best draw would be engineered explosives here. Okay, so step number 1 is... What am I doing here? I think I want to play a land. And then I'm gonna gust first. Because if my opponent's last card is a Veil, I can do something about it. They bottom the Goyf. And now we're gonna cast the Bone Crusher Giant. But if they had Veil, I would have been able to like gust the Veil as well, so... And I think I'm gonna serve here. Nothing I can get back. Steam vents here. The spiral's pretty hot. Can I serve? I don't think I can serve, right? So if I serve and my opponent finds exactly a shock land or a bolt, we lose. But if they find a bolt, we lose anyway. Because they can bolt or Bone Crusher. But if I attack, I can force the Lurrus to champ block. Which puts me in a significantly better position. I know that Shockland kills me, and I know that Bolt kills me. That's why I'm making the analysis that I'm doing right now. But like, what happens if if my opponent attacks, I take 6, I go down to 6. Or let's say like they draw a Shockland or a Bolt or whatever, like I go down to like as much as that goes. But then the Bone Crusher doesn't, my opponent just gets Lurrus going. And they're drawing 2 cards a turn. That seems like much worse for me. We don't die to Lightning Bolt, I guess, because we have the Gust. Okay, yes, I think I'm going to swing with the Bone Crusher here. I don't think that I have to play scared. It has to be exactly... It has to be exactly that. Like, it has to be exactly Shockland. It cannot be a Fetch Land. Fetch Land doesn't kill me. Okay, nothing I can do about that one. We go another 2. But now we're forcing... Oh, that my opponent just has lethal. Assassin's Trophy. Yeah, I guess that does it. I guess I wasn't thinking about the... I wasn't thinking about the... the Bone Crusher Giant trigger playing against me. Okay, I mean, we were drawing a bunch of blanks, so I guess that we were dead anyway. That is hilarious. Alright. I'm surprised. I mean, I guess Assassin's Trophy is the only removal spell that makes sense for them. I was gonna say I'm surprised they kept in removal spells, but like, Assassin's Trophy actually does make sense. It's like the only removal spell that would make sense for them to have. Because it wouldn't make sense for them to have pushes, and it wouldn't make sense for them to have um, like lightning bolts and stuff. That was pretty funny. That was pretty funny. Too bad Bone Crusher is not a May, right? But then, like, what that being the case, like, if we are playing around Assassin's Trophy, then what I did is still the correct play, right? Turn 4 Titan on the play, let's go. The play that I chose to go with was still the correct line because I was dead to exactly Assassin's Trophy anyway. I always enjoy the stream, but that was a great kill. It was. Like, I am... When my opponent does something smart or sweet, like, I'm gonna be the first one to praise it. Let's see what my opponent's up to. Probably looking for a Triumph here. Basic Island Aethervial. I'm trying to figure out whether this is going to make things more awkward than this. I think I'm playing Oboto. I mean, honestly, Invasion of the Giants is kind of nuts. I'm not gonna lie. Like, it's been very good so far. This Cry 2 is kind of sick. In a deck like this. It has always found what we were looking for. Just the Folk. My opponent 0-3 with the Folk, to the surprise of absolutely nobody. Let's do this. Next turn we Titan. Is the flavor of the giants in Kaldheim that they can commune with the universe? I have no idea. You're asking the wrong person about flavor. I am not a flavor. Not a person that pays particularly close attention to flavor and stuff like that. It's funny how we're almost Island Walk proof. Almost, but not quite. Let's go. I guess I want to get fetch land so I can get back Udo. Just get a couple of fetch lands. And next turn we can Bone Crusher Giant and... Sounds pretty good. This is a creature in my graveyard, right? I assume that this is a creature when it's in my graveyard. Well, fuck me, I guess. 12. It's a lot of damage. And by a lot, I mean exactly lethal. Wow. Could have gone in there. Alright, we got to do the 4 mana primetime thing twice, and both times we immediately died right after. So that's interesting. Maybe I should be playing one more explosives. Explosives seems like a pretty legit card right now. We're definitely keeping this hand. This hand is like absolutely ridiculous. We can play Steam Vents on turn 1. Steam Vents on 1 or fetch for Triumph. Let's fetch for Triumph actually. Like it's unavoidable for us to take damage, so let's fetch for Triumph. Vile, you got it. What's up, Scott? How's it going? Show me that Force of Negation. And if they force here, that means that, yeah, my other stuff is more likely to get there, so. Just gotta hit land drops and we're gonna be fine. That's exactly what we need. Gonna fetch for a breeding pool here, and then I'm going to play the invasion, hoping to make sure we hit our line drops. As long as we hit our line drops, I think we're gonna be in pretty good shape. Excuse me, what? My opponent just forced my invasion of the giant pitching Lord of Atlantis? What? My opponent effectively forced a preordain. I mean, I guess I'll take it, huh? We can Bone Crusher this thing. And they don't get to draw. Francisco casts Time Walk. Opponent down to 1 card because they've been forcing all willy-nilly over there. Here's my 4-3. Okay, sweet. So we take 3, we explode this on 2, blow up their board. Probably looking pretty fine. Wouldn't you force a random cantrip? I mean, I have no idea what I'm doing anymore, so I don't know. Yeah, you can scry. They put 2 cards on top. It's kind of scary. I think I'm cracking right here. We have 2 sweepers already, so... And I'm assuming that my opponent's going to be keeping cards so they can... Wait. What? My opponent went top, and then they upkeep Scryed. I just have no idea what's going on anymore. No idea. It kind of sucks that the Invasion of the Giant only works whenever you reveal a card from your hand. Kind of want both. I think I want both. Hitting land drop sounds good, and also bolt sounds very good as well. So we're probably going to be taking 3 here, maybe? My opponent is all about that upkeep scry life. But now they put 2 cards on the bottom. Like, what is going on? My opponent seems like the type of player that would, like, activate... like top, and then activate top again, and then activate top again, you know, that kind of thing. Wait, what did I put on top? You know, like that kind of stuff. Pretty unfortunate that the only fetch land that we found here is the one that... The one that doesn't get Mystic Sanctuary, otherwise we will just have lethal. My opponent's all about that upkeep Castle Vanter's life. Sometimes you forget, yeah. Sometimes you just forget. Opponent not interested in representing Cryptic Command. I am drawing a Cryptic though. Am I serving here? We are, right? Yeah, we just have lethal, so. We have lethal with the speed backup. Nope. My opponent says, oof. Good play. I gave them a smiley face. Anything want to change? Could they avoid the giant attack? And they were going for lethal, Sergio. So they wanted to set up lethal through a removal spell. But I think that makes sense. They wanted to set up lethal through a removal spell. Yes. Yes, we like this. We like this. Oh yes, Fairy Conclave. Now that's one that I have not seen in a while. Just fetch for Triumph. Kind of feels like fetch for Triumph is always the best turn to one play. Fetch for Triumph. Send your mana problems away. Oh yeah. Let's see if my opponent is going to aggressively counter this growth spiral. Let's see if they will aggressively counter this invasion of the giants now. This was force worthy last game. Let's see if it's force worthy this game. This time we let it resolve. Okay. We do have a fetch land. Do we want Ren? I kind of want Ren. Maybe not the growth spiral. So basically we just have to make sure that we don't die. And we're gonna be fine. So if my opponent plays a Trickster here, I think I probably won't crush it. They play nothing. Kill your 2/2. They can like deprive this? Okay. Take 2, I guess. Take 2. Green, red, Ren. Plus on land. Say go. So next turn we can prime time with double backup. We have to be mindful of not just randomly dying. But we can counter my opponent's lords and shit, so... Dispute is kind of doing some work here. Here comes Mutavault again. Going face. Prime time. It just snap resolves. We're gonna get Field of Ruin here because it stops the Mutavault onslaught. Fetch for Forest. I think we're looking pretty good here. Like, that Deprive is not free, right? Merfolk Trickster. I think I just dispute this. Like, my opponent can play a Lord, but then they only swing for 3. Then we have Field of Ruin going next turn. Like, this game is just over. We have Cryptic plus Veil. And they can't, like, use Force on the turn. Yeah, this game is just locked up. ¿Qué piensas de Cosima God of the Voyage? I don't know how that card is going to be better than everything else that the control decks have access to. Like, on turn 3, sorry, if you're playing a control deck, on turn 3 you can, like, play a 2-4 and hope that it survives. Or you can play Udo. Yeah. So that's my only problem with that card. Like, it's cool and everything, but Udo exists, so I could counter this. I think I counter this. Yep, this game is locked up. This game is officially locked up. Field of the Dead and what, like another Oboro? Sure. Yeah. This deck is kind of fun. I'm having a good time. I'm having a good time. That first match was super, super close. And then, like, Merfolk is supposed to be, like, this kind of deck's slayer, right? Like, this is the kind of matchup that the Merfolk deck actively wants to play against, and we just roll them over. Completely roll them over. Giganta the Wellspring. So, with my opponent revealing Giganta, we are on the play. So I'm going to keep this, because I think my opponent is on the T-Ball Trickery deck. And with any land, we're going to have Cryptic Command on turn 2. Oh, that's another one that my opponent could be playing. try to hit my land drops here. Gonna Growth Spiral. Well, they have Tron. That is bad for us. Blue source, please. How about Cryptic Command number 3? How about Cryptic Command number 3 instead of your land drop? It's basically the same thing if you think about it, honestly. Just 28 land deck problems, you know. Good old 28 land deck problems. Please don't turn 3 Tron me. Don't turn 3 Karn me. We can probably beat Wormcoil. We can probably beat. Okay. I legit don't know if we can beat that one. Can we beat that one? 5, 6, 7. So they can spin Golos next turn? That's kind of fucked up, honestly. So I guess I need to find Field of Ruin there. We can hope my opponent doesn't have another Tron piece. And we can Bone Crusher plus Bolt this guy. I think that's the line, unfortunately. Like, it's not great, but we just have to hope that my opponent can't play Ulamog here, and we're obviously gonna just pack it into the Ulamog. Rejection, thank you very much. And the rest of my sideboard sucks, so we're bringing in these cards. Tron? Really? Opponent, you're playing Tron? You're really playing Tron, opponent. In this economy. In this economy, you're playing Tron. The nerve some people have. The nerve some people have. Yeah, my opponent is leaving the Tron life. I mean, this hand's pretty solid against Tron, I'm not gonna lie. Talk to me, baby. Talk to me. That's a beautiful draw. That is an absolutely gorgeous draw. Thought not seer. Okay. Put Giganta in hand. And now they have to go to discard. Do you want to draw the remand again? I mean, I'm definitely playing Invasion here, but... I guess let's just play Invasion here. And we can see, we can choose later whether we want to like draw one of the cards on top of our deck. Ooh, baby. And we kind of want the Bone Crusher Giant to deal with my opponent's Thought Knot, right? So if they play something we can dispute, I guess we just dispute it. They just have Ulamog, just like that. That's probably bad news for us. I mean, except that it isn't though. Like for 6 mana, what can my opponent do for 6 mana? Golos? I guess Golos. That's kind. Oh, second Thought Knot. There goes prime time now. So my opponent's sideboarded into a Tron, I guess. Field of Ruin seems kind of great though. One, two, three. Then we play 4-3. Yeah, this is good. Okay. So unless my opponent just has another way to assemble Tron, which is not unlikely, honestly. Oh, we can ping around Ren. Good to know. I totally forgot which land they fetched. Ursa's Mine is what they fetched. Get field back. Then we're gonna play Bone Crusher. Four, 3. Let's go. Then we can redraw the remand if we need to, or we can draw something else. Chromatic Sphere. It's a good sign. Also, I don't know why they tapped the power plant, and now they tap the tower. Well. That's be fucking nice, I guess. We're trading with one of these thought knots. Yeah, they have to attack the rain, otherwise we just hold. So at least we do get to draw a card here. Oh, it's a good one. That's a good one to draw there. Was that a good one to draw? I think that might have been a good one to draw there. We also drew that into Ceremonious Rejection, which is just the nuts. It is the absolute nuts. Wow. That was a pretty strong series of draws. That was a pretty strong series of draws. Okay. Okay. I think we might be good with this one. They tap 2 mana. So we have lethal on board. They tap 2 to crack. And they have to tap the green source, so they can't veil me. So I think we let this go. Because they can't Ulamog me, which is the only thing that I'm afraid of here. I beat everything else. Yeah, I beat everything else, so this is fine. And now we just swing for lethal. Yep, there we go. Alright, Invasion of the Giants is busted. You heard it here first. Invasion of the Giants is confirmed broken. Wait, we're on the play? I mean, I'll take being on the play every day of the week against Tron. Sure, let's shock. I don't think my life is gonna be too relevant. Not playing around. Tail send. This is bad if they have Thought Not Seer, but oh, they have exactly Thought Not Seer. Oh, put Giganta in hand, ok. Puede que ponga una versión Grixis de este deck, ya sabes, para adelantarme al baneo de Uro. Sí, puede ser. My opponent is all about putting Giganta into hand just so they can discard to hand size. It's an interesting approach. Well, we can't really play this Uro, so that sucks. Fuck me. They didn't have Thought Knot last turn, so that was their top deck. Take Dispute. Why would you take Dispute there? I think I'm playing Jace and I'm plussing. If they have Ballista, they have Ballista. Oh, they can't have Ballista. Nice. But we can force something. We can't beat Ulamog. And I don't know what I'm taking. Like, I could minus, but if I minus, then my opponent plays the Thought Knot, then gets me. So I think I'd rather plus and have my opponent attack the Jace, and next turn we can brainstorm. I guess that if I minus and my opponent spends, yeah, I think I'm actually gonna minus. Never mind, I convinced myself to minus. Because if they're like playing their Thought Knot before they do something else, then I'm not so scared of what they can do. They just have Ulamog, so I guess nothing never mattered. Feels bad. Feels bad. To be honest, I don't think that we can realistically beat Tron, right? Like, not with this cyborg plan. Not with this cyborg configuration, I mean. But, like, why would anybody play Tron right now, right? Everybody is just like doing Tibalt trickery thing, and it's just, what are you supposed to do? Like, you have 7 mana on turn 3, and your opponent's attacking you with an Emrakul, like, I don't know. I mean, I guess that by playing Tron, you're punishing the people that want to punish the people that are playing the Tibalt trickery deck, just like me. Playing against Michael. Michael Mapson, friend of the stream. Mapson the legend, indeed. The legend himself. It's a cool avatar, by the way. Balance. I've had this one for a really long time. Maybe I should change it and should use one of my show-off avatars. The one that says that I qualified for the legacy thingy. Seems perfect. Nothing I would ever change from this hand. It's absolutely perfect. He says my deck, your deck is way cooler than mine. They were hanging out here on stream earlier. Should I have played around Mind Sensor? There's no way I should have played around Mind Sensor. Spirits? Yep. The only thing I like about our current situation is the fact that we are... Like, my opponent is on 2 cards left. I'm doing that main phase to play around Spellquiller, right? I said, like, you're not playing around Spellstorm. He says, no fear ever. Am I just slamming this Jace? Nah, I can't just slam this Jace. Maybe I can use this Cryptic kind of to clear the way for the Jace, however. No company. Cycle Canopy, obviously. It's a great sign for us. So I guess I'm going to bounce the Hierarch on my opponent's end step here. If he quells... Nothing. Okay, so no Queller. Jace is going to be just a Brainstorm gain 3 here, and I think... Never mind. I was going to say I think I'm okay with that, but... This seems a lot better now. Upkeep, I'm going to bolt that thing. I'm gonna have to bolt that eventually, so I'd rather just have my Jace be able to untap. Oh, I just realized that we don't have another green source. Whoops, I guess I should have fetched Stomping Ground. I was thinking about conserving my life total, but... Probably casting a Primeval Titan might be better. Although I guess Primetime is not even that good right here. Primetime isn't even that good. This Remand is basically a blank, which sucks. Apparition is... Card draw is fixing. Hallelujah. I think I'm remanding that just for the card draw. Would be sad the world we live in that primetime isn't that good. I mean, it's a world where flyers are pretty good. That's the world. I just want to use my mana because I'm thinking of potentially tapping out next turn. Maybe that was Sagro, but... Because my opponent could have company. Dome you for 2. I know I could have cast Titan there, but I think it's more important to like hold up Cryptic. And like Ren can find Scalding Tarn, and then we can play Prime Time for 4 mana, so that seems better. This seems good, this seems good. And I guess Disputes. Just cause remains are just terrible in Soil Forces. Still missing, I guess, 1 force. It tucks Vial. One force seems awful, but like I can't really do better. Obviously, this sideboard is built for decks that I'm not facing, right? in case anybody was wondering. I was expecting to play against like Oopsal Spells, Belcher, the T-Ball's Trickery deck. Like those are the decks I was expecting to see, and then we just got paired against Tron somehow, and Spirits, and nonsense like that. I guess our deck is not that bad against Spirits. Like we have Fire Spout. Maybe I want the second Explosives. Force of Negation is kind of clunky in the deck. We don't have that many blue sources, and like in a situation like this, we're even cutting so many blue cards. Sorry, not blue sources. And we're even cutting more blue cards in order to make room for red and green cards. So Invasion of the Giants, Uro, what's not to love? I think I'm keeping this hand. Fetch Triumph. Turn 2 Invasion of the Giants. Turn 3 Udo. He says he has no idea how to sideboard, and he also hates this deck. Like, why are you doing this to yourself, Michael? Spike with the raid. 440 players. And the subscription. Hell yeah. Welcome everybody from Spike Stream. We are doing the thing. We're doing the thing. But yeah, thank you for the 10 months, dude. Really appreciate the support. If you're coming from Spike Stream, you know what we're doing here. This is a version that I was planning on playing, and then Spike totally got me. But because it's Doomwake also with the sub, coming back for 5 months. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Doomwake. Appreciate it. But basically, because I'm just gonna put a one right here. That seems fine. Should I guess I'd rather kill this. I'm gonna get Stomping Ground. I'm gonna point this there. But yeah, like this is an uncommon, right? And cards are basically impossible to get so far. So this is an uncommon, which means that it's a lot easier to get because the bots already have it. So if you're gonna be building if you're gonna be building a deck with the new cards, you're probably better off playing this. He says he's gotta go, and good luck with the rest. Alright. Got him. Notification sounds are low? Oh, okay. Let me fix that real quick. There we go. Sanguine Tea, thank you for the follow. Sanguine Tea. And Sack4131, thank you for the follow. But yeah. This is a deck that I was planning on building anyway, right? I mean, this card has the word giant in it. What do you want me to do? Like this card has the word giant in it, okay? I am only human. There's only so much I can do. So far this card has actually been pretty legit. 1 mana 4/3 is nothing to scoff at, actually. Me playing a Primeval Titans? Wow, yeah, I know. Who am I anymore now? Sure. This is a hopeful hand right here if I've ever seen one. Lack of Frost Titan disturbs me. I mean, yeah, I mean, it's just a good mid-range card. It's just a good mid-range card, so... thank you for that follow. Hooch is crazy. Was worried about it not killing prowess threats. Yeah, but... I mean... I think I'm gonna pitch the chase. Raptor Nachos, thank you for the follow. Like, it's not like we're playing the most efficient deck anyway, right? But like the 1 mana 4/3 has been kind of impressive, honestly. It's just a big dude. It's just a big dude and it allows you to do some silly stuff. Also, we can't possibly win this game, I don't think. Where's Inferno Titan in this deck? I mean, why do you want Inferno Titan when you can just have the strictly better Titan? There's a Bone Crusher on top. You're killing me, deck. You're killing me. Because I obviously have to draw the Bone Crusher. So we can't fetch now. I mean, we're going to fetch for a basic mountain and it's going to be very, very sad. I don't think we're winning this game. I don't think we're winning this game. I mean, we do get to put a 4/3 in front of this guy, so that's not nothing, I guess. We basically have to find Udo off the top here. I feel like the only circumstance where I envision us winning this game is if there's an Uro on top of my deck right now. Under this land, of course. My opponent attacks with Go, we reveal a land, and then we top deck exactly Uro, and then off of that Uro, we find oh yeah, Remand. Love it. Okay. Never mind. I was going over like how I can win this game, and then I drew a Remand, so we're dead. How does a blue-green deck win? Draw an Uro? Yeah, exactly. Did I give my opponent a target for their Syrian Blaze? Is that what just happened? No. Remands. Out of here. Let's go with this. The good old slow rolls. I mean, I don't think my opponent slow rolled me. They just bolted me to the face. They did the opposite of slow rolling me. Maybe even to their detriment. Maybe even to their detriment, because I could have had force when they did that. Is there an Uro Stormwind deck? Now we're talking. Do I have to keep this hand? I guess this would be better as an... No, I guess it wouldn't be better as an a giant thingy. Much better. Much better. And I put a mulligans to 5. We have a shot here. Avenge me. I played against your Tron opponent and got draw step double GQ them after I prime time. Beautiful. Make sure my opponent doesn't play Tron anymore. I mean, we're technically doing a service. But I never get paired against Tron when I am... Wait. What's going on here? My opponent's playing 53 card burn? My opponent's playing 53 card burn, chat. 63, yeah, 63, I mean, obviously. 63 card burn. Alright, opponent, what you got for me? Math precision, thank you for the follow. To be fair, Shadow used to play a 52 card deck. Sure. That is 3 more burn spells, exactly. You want to make sure you draw your burn. And then you move to 5 whenever you find no landers. Land? Easy. Just gonna get a Triumph here. Like, we're taking the 2 mana regardless, so it's more of a matter of do I want to use it right here or later. But now if we draw like a Bone Crusher, we get to kill this, which is nice. Super punished. Well, we are gaining 3 lives, so I think this is fine. Field on top. I don't think I want either one of them. I guess that this one is free to draw, so let's do that. Guess I did get punished. Also, the art, I hadn't seen the art for this card until I had it for my background down here. Not down here, back here. And it's kind of dope. Like, you have like this guy and this guy and this guy, and they're just like chilling there. It's pretty sweet. Give me my feel of that, thank you very much. Most sagas have top tier art. Yeah, I love the fact that it's out of the normal. To be fair, I'm not the biggest fan of art like this. I like art like this. This is the kind of art that I prefer in Magic cards. Like, that's why I love using the beta basics. But like this, like super clean, super like, I don't know. I like the art where folks actually went ahead and used like, you know, like pen or like whatever it is, you know, like a brush and stuff. I don't know. That's just what I prefer. What is aesthetically pleasing to me, at least. Opponent doesn't want to play anymore. You like traditional versus digital art? Yeah, by a lot. By a lot. So like the sagas kind of have that feel to them. Like, this could be digital art, but this could have also very easily have been done by. This could have very easily have been done by, you know, like with a brush and stuff, you know. Okay, now my opponent is on the sideboard strategy of going back to 60 cards for game 3. Maybe they thought I was playing mill. That's the most logical explanation. Am I keeping this? Basically doing nothing until turn 3, and in turn 3 we have stuff. I think I'm keeping this. Like this I think is a snap keep on the draw, and it's a lot closer. It's a snap keep on the play, and it's a lot closer on the draw. But this is the kind of start that I want to see. Turn 1, bolt your face. This is the kind of hand that we're more likely to beat. Gust would be probably the best draw. Bolt, maybe. Or Scalding Tarn, sure. It's also fine. And they have to have Eidolon here. Cryptic. Play another Eidolon, please. Rest in peace. That sucks. Okay. I mean, at least they kind of time walk themselves there a little bit. Okay, so red mana. Actually, am I just Uroing here? I think I just Udo here. Like, we basically gain a life, but it's more about making the land drop. And maybe my opponent will overextend into this Fire Spout. Or we can simply use Cryptic Command. So now what we can do is think about the follow Burjay. Like if they play a spell on end step, we counter bounce. My opponent spends their turn redeploying the Eidolon, we play a prime time. Seems legit. Or they just do nothing. We're at 12, we take no damage. So we just tap their dudes and draw a card. So they're taking more damage here. And now we keep the Eidolon in play, and the Eidolon is going to race them. Bolt my face. Okay. No, I don't think I want to counter. Like, I'm not gonna be taking damage from this Eidolon anymore, right? So I know that I am walking a thin line here. I won't take 2 because I'm not casting a spell anymore. I'm casting a prime time. And then I'm presenting lethal later. 1, 2, 3. Perfect. Because this allows me to get double. This allows me to get double field now. I don't need to cast a Fire Spout when I have the bigger board state. And now we just win, right? Yep. Sweet. I think it wasn't really like logical is not the word, that intuitive. I don't think it was particularly intuitive, but I think that it makes so much sense to do just what I did there. And then just have the idol unlock my opponent out. Then we have 14 power in play. My opponent is at 10, and we just swing with everything. And if my opponent blocks in order to enable themselves, like we die to triple bolt, like land into exactly triple lightning bolt or like lava spike or whatever. But if they don't have exactly that, we win very easily. But I'm not beating triple bolt anyway, right? I literally don't have the cards to beat a triple lightning bolt, so. All right, 3-2 with the first draft of this deck. What are we gonna be doing? I think I want another explosive. This card was pretty impressive, so I think I want another copy. Maybe over the fire spout. And then I don't think I want both Dispute and Veil of Summer. Seems like I'm overdoing it a little bit. Maybe we can do something like this. Additional Field of Ruin for the Tron matchup is interesting. Additional Ceremonious Rejection. I mean, honestly, I don't think I want to worry about the Tron matchup. Like, it's kind of whatever. Replace one land with a flip land? Why? I'm playing Mystic Sanctuary. Why would I want to do that? The only card I am somewhat interested, the only land that I'm somewhat interested in playing is Flooded Grove. That is the only one that I am somewhat interested in having access to. But everything else, this just seems fine. But yeah, that's gonna be it for this league, folks. We're gonna play another one right here. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button if you enjoy the content. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.